Metroclothia today partly cloudy with a high of 73, then tonight partly cloudy with a low of 58. Chef Carrie's always got something exciting cooking at Nightingale in South Minneapolis on the corner of 26th and Lyndale. Don't miss out on the famous Nightingale burger or the ginger tamari chicken wings. Visit nightingalempls.org to learn more or place a takeout order. Portions of the following program may be pre-recorded.
Broadcasting from the studios of AM 950 KTNF, the progressive voice of Minnesota, and airing on WCPT 820, Chicago's Progressive Talk. Welcome to The Gailey Show, the only daily LGBTQ progressive radio news and talk show in the United States. I am your host, John Parker. My executive producer, Jim Pounds, is in the studio with me today.
Hello, everyone.
In the control room, Patrick. Hey, Patrick.
Good afternoon. Glad to be back after the long weekend.
Yes, it was a nice weekend, wasn't it?
Beautiful, actually, up here.
I'm happy that we're continuing to have summer-ish weather as we get into September. I feel like we're owed after this past winter. Okay, I want to start off today. We've got lots of tickets to give away to all the things.
Right.
If you are in the Twin Cities.
Right.
So for the first half hour of the show, we're gonna give away a pair of tickets to the Sasha Colby Stripped 2 tour. This is going to be October 9th at the Fillmore Theater in Minneapolis. Folks may know Sasha was the winner of the RuPaul's Drag Race Season 15, and it was the first time in history that a Hawaiian and trans contestant was crowned queen of the drag race. So what can you expect in the Stripped 2 tour? So there's going to be dance and music, and Sasha told Las Vegas Pride about the show title, which is Stripped 2. She said, "Sure, I love a good strip tease, but it's also about stripping back the competition, the travel, the noise, getting back to basics. Dance is the foundation I grew up with, and this show lets me reconnect to that." So the Sasha Colby Stripped 2 tour, I have a pair of tickets at the Fillmore October 9th. To get them, the first caller, 952-946-6205, 952-946-6205. And these are they're tickets. I mean, in terms of like the price of them. So you get to have a, free show, come into, Minneapolis on the 9th. This is the 9th, what is the 9th? It is a Thursday.
Yeah, it's a Thursday night.
So
it's kind of interesting.
Nationwide tour stopping here. And the Fillmore is a great space too. So folks, you can have a night on the town, as it were, with a free pair of tickets.
I'm told it's an 18 plus show, which I don't know why that you should.
Well, it's called Stripped 2.
Right. You should tour. That should be your first clue.
So yeah.
Right.
There we go.
So just don't bring the kiddos.
Don't bring the kiddos. All right, 952-946-6205, 952-946-6205. First caller gets a free pair of tickets to the Sasha Colby Stripped 2 tour. All right, what is on the show today? We had a guest lined up, but it doesn't look like they are able to join us.
I think we might have double booked 2:30. That's what I'm thinking. Do you know what I'm saying?
No.
No? Okay. I'm just taking a guess.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. I'm sorry, folks. This is live TV where we're dealing with live guests. And no, we did not double book.
Live radio.
Live. Did I say live TV?
Yes, you did.
I worked in TV.
I know you did.
Really long time ago.
I know you did.
And so, yeah. Can you, in the chat, can you check the chat right now?
Yes.
And deal with that as my executive producer.
Yes, let me do
All right,
that.
so I am going to the big news. Obviously, I mean, there's so much big news happening, but there's one story of note that's very particular to progressive radio and media right now is the indefinite suspension of Jimmy Kimmel from his weekly talk show on ABC. And I want to put together a more like comprehensive special report, I guess, on this, because this media is a really big topic for us here at AM 950, and also for me. I mean, I got my career started in broadcast television journalism. And so, I've been dealing with TV networks. We were owned by two different groups when I was at an NBC affiliate, and then I moved to a different station, which was owned by Tribune Broadcasting. So, I'm aware of stations, pulling shows off the air, people calling into the station, complaining about things, yada, 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 yada. That is something that I am familiar with. Something that is interesting to me of how this is all going to play out is, are you willing, this is a question for Disney and ABC, this is a question for NBC, this is a question for CBS, Paramount Plus, etc. Are you willing to piss off your liberal listeners, watchers, or are you going to kowtow to the Trump administration? And so this is where yes, Jim.
I was just going to say, I think Adam is here from Chanhassen.
Well, that's not scheduled to 2:30.
Well, but he's here. Let's chat, because I don't see Lux here. That's what I would do.
Folks, live radio.
They might have just popped in backstage.
He might have
to set up, but we should just to make that point before you continue with the show.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's talk to Adam. I think that's until the other person shows up. Let's do that. No? Okay. That's why I'm not the host.
I really don't like this right now.
I know. You like it to be very precise.
Can you deal with that offline?
Sure.
I don't see Adam responding to it, and I'm sort of over this right now. So
Okay.
You're my executive producer. You fix this.
I certainly
I'm
will.
going to continue on as the host here. So there is the people giving up their Disney Plus accounts. There's also an opportunity to pause your account. So that's what I did over the weekend. Is you can pause your account for up to 12 weeks. So I paused our Disney Plus account for 12 weeks. I'm like, okay, let's see what happens with Disney. And I know Disney is already in talks with Jimmy Kimmel and his team to see if there is a way forward to come back onto the air. But you have so many people now that you're pissing off in Hollywood. You've got showrunners, you've got actors, you've got writers. And the question is, was it worth it to Disney and ABC to do this? Now, from their perspective, they're like, well, we have business in front of the FCC. We need the Trump administration to sign off on these things. And frankly, should Nexstar be buying Tegna? I don't think so. Does Disney need to have a whole other thing as part of their portfolio? I don't think so. Disney needs to be broken up anyway. Nexstar doesn't need to be buying Tegna Broadcasting. And for those in the Twin Cities, Tegna owns Care 11. So we don't need to be having, 3 or 4 companies owning all of the TV stations. And again, the right has been so great about this in their long-term game. First, they bought up all of the radio stations, the AM stations. They bought up all of the rural newspapers, and now they're pretty much completing their takeover. They own the majority of local television stations within the United States. And so we're in a situation here where we lost the media game in terms of ownership.
Completely.
We lost it.
But some of it is philosophical.
But what we didn't lose is being the audience. What we didn't lose is progressive companies and liberal-ish companies being advertisers. And so we're going to have this fight here coming where they're going to have to choose between their audience and the Trump administration. And there's a lot of folks also, something that I want to say about this as well, is that there are a lot of folks going, oh, they're kowtowing to the Trump administration. They're bending the knee prematurely to the Trump administration. And with some of these guys, I don't think it's necessarily kowtowing or bending the knee. I think it's a bunch of these CEOs or upper level management or board directors for these, Fortune 500 companies are A-okay with the Trump administration. Like, they are good with it. They are totally fine and on board with getting rid of Jimmy Kimmel. You know, they are probably A-okay and getting rid of Stephen Colbert.
Trump's
You know, they are probably A-okay with saying, you know what, yes, the liberal is too, you know, the media is too liberal, which is such BS if you actually like look at the studies of this. And there's some really good ones coming out of respected nonpartisan organizations that the media is not liberal. Those days are long behind us. But there is going to be a fight here between viewers and media company owners. And it's going to be very curious to see where that's going to land. Another thing that comes out of this is that there are a lot of independent companies, AM 950 being one of them, WCPT 820 being one of them, a few, you know, a dozen or so independent radio stations that are doing liberal, progressive content. There's going to be, I don't even know what to expect out of MSNBC now that it becomes MS Now at the end of the year. I think I don't like that name, but maybe that's just me. I'll be curious to see what does MS Now brand itself as. What are they going to go for? Like, you can see already they're renaming and rebranding their shows. So if you notice, like, it's no longer a named show on weeknights. It's just called The Weeknight. And on the weekends, it's not a named show after the host. It's weekend mornings and weekends, or weekend nights. So I'm curious where they're going with that, and if they're going to be, doubling down and being considered, the left-wing cable news organization or not. But where I'm going with that is, you can become a member of AM 950. You can support WCPT 820. If you are a business owner, you can advertise on here. And I know that sounds self-interested, but we need to find ways of helping independent media, left media, liberal media, common sense media scale up and scale up quickly, because we lost the war of media ownership, and they're not going to let go of that. Like, we're not going to be able to go in there and buy these local TV stations back. They want them for the propaganda. They got them. All right, fine. But we can create competition, ideally. There are existing radio stations. There are some television stations. There are some networks that we can invest in and scale them up. And so, if you are listening to this, if you are watching this, on YouTube, you need to be seriously considering right now how you are investing in independent media. And how are you doing with your dollars when it comes to independent media? I totally get people, unsubscribing from Disney Plus. We basically did, we put a pause on it. We indefinitely suspended our Disney Plus. It's 12 weeks. That's as long as they can give us. But we put them on a suspension as well. But it is something we're going to have. I've got some interview requests out for some folks that are real experts in this. We're going to continue covering from a media perspective, because that's the conversation we need to be having, not just the Jimmy Kimmel story. We are going to take a break here. You are listening to The Gailey Show on AM 950 KTNF and WCPT 820, Chicago's Progressive Talk.
Hey, it's Patrick for Zero Res. It's the start of our favorite season in Minnesota, football season. With all the hype and action this season brings, we know things can get loud and messy quick. Before you invite your friends and family over to watch the big game, you better call my cleaning heroes at Zero Res to clean up all of those fumble moments in your home. And as always, you can score a guaranteed touchdown with great savings from Zero Res this month. Carpet, tile, rugs, upholstery, every surface in your home can be Zero Resified. And this month you can get 3 rooms of carpet cleaned starting at just $129, plus $75 off an air duct cleaning. And don't forget about your dryer vent, too. Having Zero Res over will be a big victory for your home. You'll always come away a winner, even if the guys in the purple or the maroon don't. Call 952-ZERO-RES or go to ZeroResMinnesota.com and ask for the AM 950 special. Backward or forward spells the same. Zero Res.
Hi, this is Frank Brown of Minuteman Press Uptown with a question for our local small businesses. Do you want more leads, more store traffic, more customers? Thousands of local businesses, just like yours, count on Minuteman Uptown to drive sales. We make your business stand out and show out. We print everything from signage, promotions, and direct marketing. We connect you to the community. Choose Minuteman Uptown because we share your values, and we are a proud union shop. Contact us today at mpuptown.com.
Cafe Latte offers made-from-scratch soups, salads, sandwiches, and mouth-watering desserts.
So come check out their pizza and wine bar, or get a treat from the bakery made fresh daily. Plus, you can still do online ordering and takeout, along with gift cards. Just go to cafelatte.com and choose from their ever-changing selection of award-winning salads, sandwiches, and soups. Cafe Latte is located off Victoria and Grand and online at cafelatte.com.
Step into a world where magic and merriment come alive. Discover fantastical creatures, behold thrilling jousts, and meet your favorite characters of old. From rib-tickling jesters to spellbinding performances, the adventure never ends. Make memories that will last through the ages at the most magical village on earth, the Minnesota Renaissance Festival. Plan your visit today at renaissancefest.com. Huzzah!
End-of-life decisions are not easy to make. Hi, I'm Mary T. of Mary T. Hospice Care. It's important to make sure that this difficult time is meaningful and comforting to you and your loved ones. Our hospice team provides an individualized program of physical, emotional, spiritual, and practical care so your loved one is comfortable and not in pain. At Mary T. Hospice, we understand that choosing the right hospice care provider can be overwhelming, but we're here to assist you. Learn more today at marytinc.com.
Welcome back to the Gailey Show. I'm your host, John Parker. We are coming up on the bottom of the hour. Something that I just, someone flagged for me here is just out a letter of folks, Hollywood bigwigs, stars anyway, have come out. No, it's 430.
I know.
430 film, TV, and stage stars, in addition to comedians, directors, and writers, have posted an open letter from the American Civil Liberties Union in support of Jimmy Kimmel against ABC and Disney's decision to pull the show indefinitely. So we've got Emmy winners in here. I don't know. I don't know where this is going to go, because you're going to deal with talent and consumers versus, the Trump administration. And how does this shake out? And there's been some really interesting, I saw on Deadline and on Screen Rant over the weekend, that Disney is just has put themselves in an impossible situation here. And apparently even, I was reading, I think it was the Deadline article. No, it was a Screen Rant article that was saying that Disney execs off the record were saying, we didn't recommend to do this. This went to the top. This was CEO Bob Iger who made this decision. So it is,
well, it's the difference between corporate whatever, frankly, in this country, in my opinion, and independent whatever in this country. And a good example of that is Disney, or whatever that is, which is looking for a 20% profit margin, versus our friends at this Flip the Script Queer Film Festival, who are simply trying to take queer content and put it out there. They don't even have an absolute price. It's a pay what you can. They're getting grants to help make it more affordable. And so, to me, those are the opposite ends of the spectrum. Somebody that wants to get as much money out of you, they would do everything but rob your house if they could get away with it, versus people that are just like, we want people to see this art and we want them to be enlightened by it or enriched by it. Mm-hmm. And I am seeing more and more every day that I am oriented towards independent media, independent businesses, independent bookstores, independent whatever.
Yeah.
And yes, it's more affordable, and yes, it's more inclusive of everybody, regardless of their circumstance. It's just more humane. Whether it doesn't matter, Republican or Democrat, there's lots of poor Republicans who can't live in the Republican world because they don't make enough money to do that. So anyway, I don't know where I got on that rant, except I know we're going to give away a digital pass, and we should do that sometime before Adam joins us.
Okay, well, yes, we'll get to that, the executive producer. I also want to flag for folks that mayoral candidate Zohran Mamdani has pulled out of a town hall that was going to be hosted by the local ABC station in New York, WABC TV, citing the suspension of Kimmel as the reason why he's pulling out of that town hall.
Why do you think there's more reaction to Kimmel than to oh my gosh, Colbert? What
I think because they said they gave Colbert a year.
Yes. So it's a slow boat.
It was a slow, thing. Yeah. I think that it was a shock of how fast that it happened.
Yeah.
I think that that what he said, when you look at it, it actually wasn't about what he said wasn't about Charlie Kirk.
No.
It wasn't denigrating him. It wasn't denigrating his legacy. He was calling out current MAGA leadership for bending over backwards to say, oh, this shooter, he's not us. He's not us. He's not us. He's not us.
And
he was like, why are you, NBC was reporting over the weekend, NBC News reporting that they're like, the investigators have found no links between this guy and the far left, such as it were. So that was the comment that Jimmy Kimmel made. And I think he's beloved in Hollywood. When you look at that, people, he's beloved. Now, I do want to say again, I worked for local TV, and this is not new of TV groups pulling shows. Like there were very infamously Betty White's first TV show when she had a black tap dancer on.
Yes. Southern
TV station said they were not going to air that show, and they didn't do it. But the was that ABC that owned that? I'm blanking on the network that was on, but they kept it going. They said, we do not care. We're going to keep airing this program because there is an audience for it. Now we've gotten into a situation that's very different now, the 60s versus the aughts today. It's like 5 companies that own all of the TV stations in the United States. Back then it was like 30 companies.
But that's capitalism run amok. Unfortunately, we're living in that in almost every business category. There's 3 competitors, and people go, why is everything so expensive? Well, because there's only 3 competitors.
I'm going to get into the Telecommunications Act. I know it sounds very wonky, but the Telecommunications Act, which was undone by a Democratic president in negotiations with the Republican House, looking at you, President Clinton, that paved the way for Republicans and MAGA to take over our TV stations. But this is not new, the strategy that they're doing. That's just the impact that they have because they won the battle of ownership of media, which is why it's going to be, again, very important for the left to begin to invest in media. We're not going to be able to buy local TV because they'll come up every once in a while, but we need to be scaling up the stuff that already is there.
We need the fairness doctrine, and we need an emphasis on truth, not on propaganda. And that you probably are going to have to license cable television news, and I use that term very loosely, but you're probably going to have to license them to get some regulatory control over them, and that's not going to happen with this nightmare. So it's going to have to wait, but it needs to be done.
It is. It is. With they have undone public television, and in the Twin Cities in Chicago, that probably won't affect them because those folks have been moving in the direction of they do the donations all the time, but they have corporate sponsors. They'll feel it. There will be layoffs. I'm guarantee you on that. It's the local ones, the ones out in greater Minnesota and greater Illinois that are going to shut down because they don't have the capacity to do that. So they've already taken out one area, of local competition to them, controlling the media of what's there in their districts. But now okay, I see our guest just popped up. Okay, we're gonna have to figure this out here. So we got a commercial break coming up anyway. So we're gonna let's do a giveaway. Flip the Script Film Festival. It is an LGBTQ film festival here in the Twin Cities. Runs from October 3rd through the 11th. We have got 2 passes, one pass rather, to give away. It's a digital pass, which gives you access to the in-person showings, and you can also screen the films from home.
No, I think it's just for for screening at home. It's a digital pass, meaning I don't want to go to see the films in
Perfect.
person.
952-946-6205. 952-946-6205. You can call that number. First caller gets their own digital pass. You have an entire week to watch all the films at the Flip the Script Film Festival. Starts October 3rd. All LGBTQ films, features, short films, short documentaries, animated. It's yours.
Turn to Auto Technical with your vehicle donation. Even though Auto Technical is a small nonprofit, we have helped more families with transportation than any organization in Minnesota. Since '94, we have reconditioned donated vehicles so they have a higher tax benefit. Call Richard at 612-919-5526, 612-919-5526, or autotech.org.
Overwhelmed? Trying to...
Ricky, can you hear me?
I can hear you. I'm sorry about technical issues. I'm here.
Oh, no worries. So we've got a guest at 2:30. Can we reschedule?
Okay, that's good too.
I am so sorry about this.
Okay.
Because I want to hear about your technical issues that you were having. Can you email that to me, like what was happening, so that we're aware of that, so we can help troubleshoot for folks in the future. But I will send you, if you still have the booking link, you can go in there and pick another time that works for you. I apologize for this.
Please don't apologize. It's okay.
Okay. And if you don't have it, I will send it to you like after the show.
Okay. Yeah. Could you send it to after the show, and then that'll be fine. All right.
Okay. Thank you, Ricky.
Welcome. I was listening. Have fun.
Yeah, thank you. We'll talk to you soon. Adam, hey.
Hey, guys.
Hey, this is chaos today. This is not normal.
No problem.
I have no idea what's going on. But we're winging it. All my live skills are right out the door right now. I'm having to relearn them in time. But your mic sounds good. And it's good to meet you. We just saw you in Greece.
Oh, great.
So yeah, we'll talk about that too before we get into White Christmas. Do you have any questions for us before we get started?
No, I think I'm okay.
All right, good. I probably should have also mentioned this is a hot mic right now. This is all going over YouTube. So anyway, we didn't say anything that was bad. So we're gonna switch you back over to the live feed. We're just under 1 minute until the show starts again.
Great.
Cool. I'll put additional time cues in the chat.
Okay.
Thanks, Patrick.
In Roseville, and you need to go too. Check out their menu at mavericksbeef.com.
With your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Today, partly cloudy with a high of 73. Then tonight, partly cloudy with a low of 58. Don't miss your chance to set sail with Treasure Island this fall at Children's Theater Company. Join young Jim Hawkins and the infamous Long John Silver on an adventure packed with pirates, sword fights, live music, and heart-pounding action. Tickets are going fast. Get yours today at childrenstheater.org. You're listening to AM 950, the progressive voice of Minnesota.
Coming to you from the studios of AM 950 KTNF, the progressive voice of Minnesota, and airing on WCPT 820, Chicago's Progressive Talk. Welcome back to the Gailey Show. I am your host, John Parker, in studio with my executive producer, Jim Pounds. We are 33 minutes after the hour. He's performed at the Guthrie Theater, Ordway Theater, and recently played duty in Chanhassen Dinner Theater's production of Grease, which we just saw, Jim and I. He's now a swing for the upcoming Irving Berlin's White Christmas at Chanhassen Dinner Theaters. Adam, Moen, welcome to the Gailey Show.
Thank you.
I just realized, did I get that right, Moen?
You did.
All right, there we go. Okay, so Adam, we just saw Grease. We love featuring LGBTQ artists, actors, musicians, theater makers, authors on this show. Folks who have listened for a while, you know this. And so we're really happy to be meeting you, to be talking about your work, to be lifting it up here in the Twin Cities. And I'm pretty sure after seeing you in Greece that you're going to be on some national tours here. I could definitely see that happening. But congratulations on Greece. We loved it.
Thank you so much.
That we were talking about this after we saw a Wednesday performance that you guys had just done a matinee.
Mm-hmm.
Then you had to find whatever you have in your spine to get through an evening performance, and it didn't feel like it. It
Fresh.
really felt like everybody was bringing it. And I thought they've been doing this for, I don't know, 7 months or something.
Mhm.
Not everybody, but most people have been in it that long. And it did seem very fresh. I was totally blown away by that. I didn't expect it.
Thank you so much. We have this ongoing joke that our music director said early on in rehearsals that this play is relentless. It's so hard. There's very little downtime. It's so high energy. But this group of people, we've really just become a family and bonded. And every day we just have so much fun on stage. And when you're tired, you just look to somebody next to you on stage and they hype you up, and we all just support each other and get through it together. And it's been an absolute blast.
That's great. Have you been in it from the beginning? I mean,
I have. Yep.
Yeah. Wow.
It does, now that you're saying that, it does kind of feel like from the get-go, it's just like a car race. You know, the flag goes, the shotgun goes, and then you're just, whoosh.
Yeah.
You go. There's some ballads to take a breath, but it's a go, 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 go show.
Yeah, it's straight out the gate. In the top of the show, I'm hidden in a locker, spoiler alert. And before that first entrance, there are days where I just take that deep breath and say, okay, here we go. And there's no looking back.
No.
I loved it so much. I haven't seen the movie in forever, and I couldn't get the songs out of my head after we saw it. I'm like, let's watch the movie.
Yeah.
Well, now I want to talk about a swing, because
Mhm.
I know what a swing is, but
I don't.
But I did ask Chris. I have some friends that have done understudy type work before, and they are sometimes in the show, but they might be called on to do a different part in the show, and other swings kind of wait backstage if God forbid anything should happen. So which kind of swing are you? Are you waiting
for
something?
Irving Berlin's White Christmas,
for
which
Irving
opens
Berlin's White
October
Christmas.
10th at
Sorry.
Chanhassen Dinner Theater.
I should
Okay,
have
go
said
ahead,
that.
Adam.
I'm wearing a Christmas shirt for you guys.
Oh, look at that.
Wow. So in White Christmas at Chan, we are external swing. So we are not in the show every night. We're not on stage every night. We are backstage waiting. And if anything goes wrong or emergency or someone's sick, we go on. It can be a planned vacation, or it can be 5 minutes before places if something happens. So,
but in a 5-month run, you're going to get on stage.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
I cover 6 tracks, and I think last year I did 5 out of 6 of them. And the beauty in that is that the majority of the choreography is all the same. It's just where do you go? So we have all these charts that it's crazy, but if you look at it, it does make sense. And you say, okay, I go to number 10 on this, and then I dance with this person at that, then I go to 7 here, and it's pretty wild. But
do you ever get a chance to do that, or you just kind of have to? I don't know. I mean, I've been an understudy twice, and it was really nerve-wracking. I think it takes a certain kind of intestinal fortitude that I don't think I have.
Absolutely. It's I don't know where the brain space is, but it's somewhere. And we get to be in all the rehearsals. We get to be on our feet. We get to do all the choreography. We get to do everything. We have understudy rehearsals, so we're there and we'll go through everything. Our dance captain marks all of our charts for us to make sure we're good. We have video footage of the entire show. So there's moments where I'm on, then I come backstage and like look at my little phone. Okay, I watched this number. Okay, now go do it and come back. It's wild. It's wild. This year will hopefully be a little less stressful because we've done it. So it's pretty much a remount with all of the same choreography, but it's still nerve-wracking no matter what.
Yeah.
So which roles are you swinging?
So it's all ensemble dancer tracks. So it's 6 or 7 guys that are all in the ensemble. They all pretty much do the same choreography, and then it's a domino effect. So one of the ensemble members will understudy like a larger lead. So then they'll go on for the lead, and I'll jump into their ensemble.
Wow.
Track.
Well, we've interviewed Michael and Tony both here for other shows, and so I know their life is a lot easier than yours is. You know, I'm sure they they take it easy in those lead roles, although there's a lot of pressure in that too. But they're repeating this year, is that right?
That's correct. Yep.
Yeah.
I believe the entire company, except for 4 or 5 people, will be different this year, but it'll be great.
Well, and Chris was telling me that it's unusual for us to repeat a show, and I thought the way that one sold, I would think I would repeat it. You know, if you can replace whatever Christmas Carol at the Guthrie, why not? But that's me thinking like a business person, not like an artist.
Yeah. I feel like White Christmas is such a good fit for the Chanhassen Dinner Theater, and it just seems like the same vibe. You feel like you're like at a sweet little inn when you walk in, and the tickets just sold like crazy last year. So
I was astounded by it. I mean, and I think they were too a little bit, because it was like a tsunami. And so I hope it
must,
goes great.
because you're opening on October 10th.
Yes,
we haven't even had
5
Halloween
months
yet.
of Christmas. Yeah.
And it goes into February too, which, I mean, it's White Christmas. So I mean, okay, I'll admit, I don't take Christmas decorations down until like the first week of February anyway. I'm one of those gays. So I could see why it would have such a nice long run. Is there a particular number that you like from the musical?
Yeah, what's fun is that there are a couple different musical numbers in the stage version than the movie. So there's one called Blue Skies, and that's the end of Act 1, and it's kind of the big like final dress rehearsal of the show within the show, and the choreography is just amazing, and Michael Gruber sounds like a gorgeous crooner jazz singer, and it's all sexy jazz dance, and it's really fun. It's great.
Right. That's fantastic.
I know I read too much into this, and I'm blanking the characters' names, and maybe this is just me being, whatever, queering everything that I read, watch, and listen to. But I always have this. Is it a fantasy where what are their names? The character guys, the guys that are the main guys.
I can just think Danny
Bob Wallace and Phil Davis.
But they had a fling. Yeah. They had a fling together. They were bi together, and now they're meeting the girls and whatever. But that's like subtext that everyone's like, "What are you doing, John?" And I'm like, "That's just my own personal backstory."
Yeah,
for Berlin's White Christmas.
Yeah, just let me have this.
Well, I mean, it's something that we watch. The film, anyway, we watch that every year. And so hopefully we'll get a chance to get over there. This is, a good 5 months. We should be able to find time to head over.
What should people, if they'd seen it before, is it just great again and all of that? Or is there something that's, I don't know, you said there's 5 new people. So.
Yep. There'll be some new faces. And there might be some updates to some of the set pieces or the costumes. But the costumes alone are like worth the show. Our costume designer, Rich Hampson, is just incredible. And every number is flashy and bright and amazing. And I think they'll just be very minor little zhuzhes here and there, but overall it's just such a special family friendly holiday.
This is a weird inside baseball thing, but Rich Hampson played opposite me in La Cage aux Folles at Artist.
Yes, he's amazing.
And he is, I think of him as astonishing as a costume designer, but he was excellent in that show. He was really amazing in that show. So I love Rich a lot.
For folks who don't know, Jim is very enmeshed in the Twin Cities theater scene. So you can have all of these insider baseball stories and also just fun facts. It's fun having, the fact that you know this. We are talking with Adam Moen, who will be performing in Irving Berlin's White Christmas at Chanhassen Dinner Theater, which opens October 10th. So we kicked off our show talking about media. But as a queer person, I'm curious if there is, because we also want to highlight and uplift all types of, queer media. So Adam, to kind of put this to you, are there any queer shows that were very impactful for you, either growing up or during your career?
Yeah, I mean, I grew up classic musical theater nerd, watching all of the old movies, MGM musicals, and all the Rodgers and Hammerstein. I think the first queer show that really struck a chord was I was probably far too young to be listening to the cast recording, but it was of Rent. And
yes.
And then I was like, my mind was blown. I was like, what is this? Who are these people? I think I might be like that. And my mind was absolutely blown that it was queer culture combined with musical theater. And the rest is history. It's just, I think that was the first really impactful show.
The impact of Ren. I was in high school in Northwest Lower Michigan, and Glory, right? That's the song, One Song, Glory.
Yeah, One Song, Glory.
Penetrated all the way up into, I heard someone playing the track and I was like, what is this? I thought we were listening to the radio. I was like, wow. That's the impact that Rent had beyond Broadway, particularly for all the little, queer kids, in high school that were kind of feeling, on the margins. And here comes this musical that was just huge. That doesn't surprise me at all. It was such a important show.
One of the shows that I saw you in at the Guthrie was Roman Holiday. I don't remember how far back that was. Do you recall what year that was?
I think it was 2012. I had just graduated college from Mankato State, and I was in the ensemble of that. And Tony and Michael were in that, and Ann Michaels, who also is starring in White Christmas. And, so many fun faces, and we've gotten to work together.
That was a show that used a lot of projections rather than, it seemed like less practical sets and more projections, very, very cinematic. I liked some of it, and some of it I was like, oh, I just want to see the people. That's what I came here to see. But it was a really good production. And I remember a friend of mine was in it, and now I'm not going to be able to think of his name now that I brought it up. But it was a really good, it's a show you don't see ever, I'll say.
And that was another like film to stage adaptation, and they were potentially working to get it to go to Broadway.
Right Well, I don't think that happened, but
are there asking important queer musicals for you growing up, are there LGBTQ either musicals or productions that you would love to be in one day?
Yes, another great one that I love is Falsettos, and Theater Latte Die had just recently done it in their last couple seasons, and I saw that, and I'm like, I'm not a young little twink anymore, so these roles would be really great to play. They're juicy and they're queer coded and they're just amazing, and Falsettos would be such a great one. I'm trying to think of what else. I mean, Lacage would be amazing.
Yes, it is.
You've done Lacage.
It's surprisingly satisfying. You know what I mean? When you walk around before the show starts and kind of say hello to everybody.
Yeah.
And you think, wow, am I pretty lucky to be doing this or what? Because it's elevated at a different, it's not just artistic, it's something else.
Right.
Something special.
I also saw the national tour years ago of Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. And it was just a blast the whole time. Like, who wouldn't love getting to sing all those fun disco songs and be in full drag and just have a blast?
I know. All right. One last break, but lots still to get to here on The Gailey Show. We're going to have more with Adam Moen when we come back. Keep the conversation going. Follow us on Blue Sky. We're at thegailyshow.org. On Blue Sky, you're listening to The Gailey Show.
This season, bring the whole family to see Irving Berlin's White Christmas. This smash hit musical based on the classic film returns by popular demand to delight you at Chanhassen dinner theaters. With loads of laughter and a stunning showcase of Irving Berlin songs, White Christmas is a celebration of the romance, friendship, and magic of the holidays. Make your plans today to see White Christmas. Visit chanhassendt.com.
End-of-life decisions are not easy to make. Hi, I'm Mary T. of Mary T. Hospice Care. It's important to make sure that this difficult time is meaningful and comforting to you and your loved ones. Our hospice team provides an individualized program of physical, emotional, spiritual, and practical care so your loved one is comfortable and not in pain. At Mary T. Hospice, we understand that choosing the right hospice care provider can be overwhelming, but we're here to assist you. Learn more today at marytinc.com.
Turn to Auto Technical with your vehicle donation. We have families waiting for a car. You know, over 85% of unemployed are successful in finding and keeping a job if they have dependable transportation. A car plus a job equals a life changed. 612-919-5526. We have families waiting for a car. 919-5526 or autotech.org.
Hey friends, this is John Parker from The Gailey Show. When I travel, I want to go somewhere where I can unwind, get back to nature like with waterfalls and hiking, enjoy some classic downtown shopping with good restaurants, and also just be myself as a queer person without worries. That's why twice a year for the past 10 years, I've been visiting Michigan's Marquette County. This fall, join me and head up to the Fresh Coast. Visit travelmarquette.com to start your journey.
This is no bedtime story. It's Treasure Island, a thrilling stage adventure packed with sword fights, secrets, and the lure of buried gold. Join young Jim Hawkins and the infamous Long John Silver as they set sail on a journey where trust is tested and danger lurks behind every wave. Live on stage at Children's Theatre Company, September 9th through October 19th. Tickets at childrenstheatre.org.
With your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Today, partly cloudy with a high of 73. Then tonight, partly cloudy with a low of 58. Don't miss Sasha Colby's Strip 2 Tour, an electrifying blend of dance, storytelling, and drag artistry at the Fillmore Minneapolis, October 9th. Tickets at thefillmoreminneapolis.com. Listen to The Gailey Show and The Matt McNeil Show all week for your chances to win.
Welcome back to The Gailey Show. We are coming up on the top of the hour and also have some breaking news. Just came over the Associated Press Newswire. ABC will be reinstating Jimmy Kimmel's late night show in the wake of criticism over his comments about the assassination of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. Officials made the announcement Monday afternoon. In a statement, they said, "We've spent the last days having thoughtful conversations with Jimmy. And after those conversations, we reached the decision to return the show on Tuesday, September 23rd. So interesting little turn of events there. We'll have to see now what Brendan Carr, the head of the Federal Communications Commission, says now and what the Trump administration is going to try to do. But again, earlier today, over 430 film, TV, and stage stars, along with comedians, directors, and writers, had joined an open letter from the American Civil Liberties Union. There were, a lot of people canceled their Disney Plus subscriptions over the weekend. So there it is. Breaking news. Jimmy Kimmel's show will return on Tuesday, September 23rd, after internal talks with ABC and Disney leadership.
Adam, aren't you glad you're in the sane world of the live theater?
Yes.
Well, here's a pivot for you, because I was just noticing in the break, this production of White Christmas is actually going to be without Chanhassen's original artistic director, Michael Brindisi, who passed away earlier this February. I'm curious how that's. I don't want to project here. What is that experience like for the cast and for yourself now navigating, this iconic show that was such a bestseller last year, and one of Michael's final shows that he was producing and directing.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that this morning. We start rehearsal tomorrow, and it will be the first rehearsal process that Michael Brindisi is not in that room.
Wow.
So I think emotions will be high tomorrow, and I think we'll also know that he's there, and we're going to do everything we can to honor him because he ultimately directed that production. And so I think Tam, who's the new artistic director, who is incredible and she's gonna lead with grace and integrity and make sure that we're honoring what Michael did with the original production. But it's going to be so surreal that he's not there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Chanhassen, in interviews we've had with actors since the dawn of this show, so going back to 2023, queer actors have marveled and been so effusive about Chanhassen's ability to create an LGBTQ space where queer performers and just employees can thrive in that institution. And so when we learned of the passing of Michael, I mean, he had a lot to do with that and making that happen. And Chanhassen has been such an important fixture of the Twin Cities theater scene, and a number of big folks have gone through. I mean, you're in excellent company, Adam, of folks like, I'm blanking on her name right now, who went through there, who was in the Amy Adams.
Amy Adams, yeah.
Amy Adams, I love her, and was just thrilled that she went through here. So I am happy that you are there and having a positive experience, and I just want to take that moment to remember Michael and all that he did for not just the Twin Cities theatrical community, but also the queer theatrical community as well.
100%.
Well, yeah, Chanhassen, we had seen you, I think you were in the production of Little Mermaid that you saw also, John. Was that like 10 years ago also? Does that?
Yes. Yep.
Because I think they've only done it once.
Yeah.
Wait, for real? Who did you play in Little Mermaid?
I was in the ensemble, and then I took over the Eels, Flotsam and Jetsam, who originally Tony and Michael played. Yeah, so it was so fun. Yeah.
Oh wow!
But I was also the Ursula's eels are like so queer coded.
Yes, they are. That whole show is like the gayest of all of the Disney films.
Yeah.
I was going to celebrate Chanhassen for really, when you look at the numbers, hiring about 3/4 of the equity people that have a living in this town.
Yeah.
You can ascribe that to Chanhassen. So
absolutely.
Not even close anybody else in terms of giving a living to equity members in the city. So kudos to them for that too.
Absolutely. It's an amazing contract, and it's just legendary. They're amazing.
Not to leave my Disney princess, if I were one, would be Princess Ariel.
Oh, great.
I'm just going to put that out there for all those gays that are listening right now. I'm with you. I am. So we're talking about the theater and Chanhassen and their amazing role that they have had to create a positive and welcoming space for queer actors and artists and staff to be working in the theater. I'm curious for you, Adam, and I know this is kind of a big question, but what do you see the role of the theater doing? Because so many queer people flock to the theater to find a space for themselves and to feel seen and to feel represented, to kind of get away from the BS, right, of the world. What role do you see now as an actor, as a professional actor, of what the theater can do for the LGBTQ community and LGBTQ kids?
Yeah. I mean, I was that kid, right? I sat in those very seats watching the shows at Chan and going, I want to do this, and I think I can do this. And now this is like the craziest full circle thing in my life, that now I'm up there. And there's so many times where I look out and I see a young person, and they're, you can see the twinkle in their eye, and the theater is so joyful and inclusive and happy already. And so with the crazy world we're living in right now, like, isn't it so wonderful that we get to escape from that and go turn our brains off from everything that's happening out there and just enjoy the show? And the role is to entertain and to comfort, and to include and to just leave all those worries outside for a little bit.
Yeah. Love that. The show is Irving Berlin's White Christmas. It opens October 10th. You can get your tickets at chanhassendt.com. Follow Adam on Instagram. He is at Adam_Moen, Moen. Thank you, Adam, for being on the Gaily Show today.
Thank you, guys.
Break a leg. Thanks, everyone, for listening. Up next on WCPT 820 is Chew's Views with Richard Chew on AM 950 Radio. It's the Matt McNeil Show. And until tomorrow, keep it queer, America.
Keep it queer.